This video is for you if you ever wondered if you are the one that's the narcissist, if you are the one that's the abuser, if that's your case and you're wondering, and I know you've probably heard, oh, the fact that you're watching this means that you're not a narcissist, but that used to be true. Sadly, the reality is now there are so many educated narcissists. They see that people are changing. They see that their old tactics aren't working. So what are they doing? They're watching these videos too. Not because they want to change, not because they want to learn something, but because they want to know why you're changing and what they have to do to become better narcissists. So just hearing that, oh, if you're watching this video, you're not a narcissist, that's not enough anymore. So I'm hoping that these tips can help you. That being said, let's dive in. For those that don't know me, my name is Michele. I'm a trauma-informed certified coach specializing in narcissistic abuse and CPTSD recovery. I'm also the founder of the Trauma-Informed Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Certification Program, which is designed to help people that are survivors of abuse to move into the role of coach and then be able to help others. So the first thing that I want to ask you is to ask yourself, right? At the thought that you might be the narcissist, and here you are, you're Googling, you're looking up videos, you're looking up information, you're wondering if you're the narcissist. What is the emotion that you feel at the thought that you might be the narcissist? If you could care less, that's a problem. If you're indifferent and the emotion, there is no emotion driving it, that's a problem. If there's some kind of fear, shame, or worry, then that shows that you care about who you are and how you're coming across to other people. If you tell a malignant, overt narcissist that they're a narcissist, they'll probably smile with pride. If you tell a covert narcissist that they're a narcissist, they will act shocked that you could possibly think that of them. They'll twist things around. They'll create some kind of a word salad to confuse you, so that by the end of that conversation, you are doubting if you are the narcissist, right? But never do they contemplate, like, might that be me? And should I be worried if it is? There's no emotional connection, no care, no worry, no empathy as to who they might be hurting if they're the narcissist. No, there's nothing. So what is the emotion that drives you to want to know if you are the narcissist? Let me know in the comment section. Number 2. If there's an inkling that you are the narcissist, if there isn't any kind of contemplation that you might be the narcissist, I want you to ask yourself, what does it motivate you to do? Does it motivate you to get help? Because if you're motivated to get help, to get better, you can't be a narcissist because narcissists are so perfect, right? There is no better. There's no need to get help. But if the thought that you're the narcissist literally causes you to, like, as if you just read the weather and you're not even going to think twice about it, and there's no worry, there's no nothing, then you might want to worry. Another sign that can help you to determine if you're a narcissist or not is, how do you apologize? Do you apologize and take responsibility for what you did? Do you feel remorse? Do you feel guilt? Even if what you did wasn't wrong. Let's say there was a misunderstanding and there was no ill will towards the other person. There was no intent to harm, but you know you harmed the other person for whatever reason, right? They feel hurt. Even if you don't agree with why they feel hurt, do you feel bad that they feel hurt? Are you motivated and moved to want to soothe them and to reconnect and make sure that you're both good with each other? Or do you feel like, well, that's your problem. You're hurt. I did nothing wrong. Oh, well. And there's no empathy. There's no desire for reciprocity. There's no desire for true reconciliation. There's just a desire to prove that you're right. Then you might be a narcissist. But if you really care about how the other person feels, and being right isn't nearly as important as making sure the relationship is tended to with care and with empathy, then you're not a narcissist. Narcissists do not have empathy. I think one of the freakiest things that I've seen with narcissists and what I've heard from some of my clients is how much in pain you can be, how much emotional pain you can be, and they look at you as if they don't see your pain. They just look at you with absolutely no emotion whatsoever. I had one client tell me that And she actually sent me the recording, and it was heartbreaking to listen to, because not only could you hear her crying and her emotional pain and her trying to get through, but you could also hear the baby crying in the background. And there he was reading the mail and flipping through the mail, jumping over her just to get out of the house as if she was just a sack of potatoes. So it's not just the words when it comes to an apology, but it's the remorse. It's the care and the empathy that you feel towards the person that's feeling hurt. If you're really wondering if you're a narcissist, I want you to think about how you laugh and how you cry. Now that may sound silly, but narcissists don't have real emotions. They don't feel something from deep within. They mimic emotions. And so you can kind of tell. I would love to hear from you if you've seen this, like the narcissist laugh. Anyone else agree that the narcissist laugh is the strangest thing? There's no real emotion. It's like this weird sound. And then they can crack up and stop on a dime. Like I've seen narcissists cracking up, and all of a sudden they're like, it just makes no sense. Okay. That's what I've seen. And then the cry, it's like they're fighting. If they could just get that one tear out, and they're like pushing and pushing. And then they're so proud of that little itty bitty tear that comes out. It's because they know they should be crying, but rather than feeling the emotion that drives the tears, they try to push the tear out. They try to force it out. And there's something missing. You can tell it's not genuine. So if when you laugh, you feel like you can laugh from your belly. And I know if you've been through trauma, you might say, well, I haven't laughed in a long time. I get that. But when you laugh, do you feel like it's a real feeling that motivates the sound? Or is it a sound you make? Something to think about. Number 5, I watched a video recently. It was by somebody that was diagnosed with NPD. And he said, as a diagnosed narcissist, he does not feel that everyone in the world has the same inherent worth. In other words, everywhere he goes, and no matter who he's around, everyone is one-upping, or actually I should say he's one-upping everyone, right? And if that person's up, he's got to do something so that he can feel better and more than the other person, rather than viewing everyone with equal value. Now, if you've been a victim of narcissistic abuse, you might not see people as having equal value either, but it's almost the flip side of a narcissist. So narcissists one up themselves and everyone below them. A healthy person sees everyone as the same equal value. A victim of narcissistic abuse can see people as one up and one down, but sadly, they're the one at the bottom of the totem pole and they put everyone else above themselves. So if you're at the bottom of the totem pole, or you feel that everyone has the same value, then you can't be a narcissist. If you feel everyone else is better than you, there is no way, there is no way you can be a narcissist, especially if you admit that. Number 6, if you're willing to get help, go to a therapist, go for counseling. And I want to pause for a second, because I know some of you are like, Michele, my narcissistic ex went for counseling. They were the one that suggested it. Again, we're in the era of the informed, educated narcissist. So it's not enough that they want to get help, but it's more like they want to get help and there's a specific motive. If the motive of the person that wants to get help is to prove that they're right and you're wrong, could be a narcissist. If their motive is to get the counselor on their side, so they team up and now it's 2 against 1, that's a narcissistic thing to do. But if the motive to get help is to be able to self-reflect, to see the areas that you might not be seeing in yourself, and as painful as that might be, if you're willing to self-reflect and willing to change and work on those areas and admit you're wrong, then you can't be a narcissist. Number 7, with your significant other, if something positive happens to him or her, are you able to be happy for them? Are you able to be happy for other people when they're happy? Do you support people that when good things go their way, are you happy for them? Now, again, some of you might be feeling this discomfort in your body because maybe you're not a narcissist, but maybe you don't always feel happy for people, because it's not so much that you want to be better than them, but sadly, if you were raised by narcissistic people, you might again be feeling the pain of seeing what others are doing. And then that's kind of like your golden shadow. You might be jealous because they're doing things that you would love to do. So it's not that you want to bring them down, but you're feeling pain because you know you can do that, but for whatever reason, others never let you and you don't let yourself. So there is a difference. So even if sometimes it's hard for you to be happy, you have to ask yourself, well, what's my motive? Is it because I don't want them to succeed? Or is it because I'm feeling pain? Because I feel the limits, the subconscious beliefs that my trauma and emotional abuse have kind of caused me to be stuck in this internal prison. And that's what's causing me pain. If that's the case, then you're not a narcissist. And think about it. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, isn't it true that every time something good happened to you, whether it was a raise at work, whether somebody gave you a compliment, isn't it true that a narcissist, anytime something good happens to you, they never have anything positive to say? In fact, if they're not insulting you, they will ignore you. So you feel the pain of their indifference at what is happening in your life. So if you're doing those behaviors, then you might be high in the scale of NPD. And the last one that I'm going to mention, and I actually thought of it as I was doing this video, was reactive abuse. If you fell into reactive abuse, right, and you now see yourself doing, saying, and behaving in ways that you would never, ever imagine yourself doing, and it hurts to see yourself acting in those ways. That's the question. I just answered it for you. How do you feel at the thought of realizing that you are engaging in reactive abuse? You are acting in a way that is abusive, yes, because it's being provoked, but how do you feel at seeing yourself act like that? Do you take responsibility? Do you feel pain? Do you want to change? Because that's the thing. If you're in these types of relationships, they bring out the worst in you. They really do. And on top of it, not only do they bring out the worst in you, but they force you to be the garbage pail and the carrier of the pathology of the narcissist. So now you're carrying their traits. They're flinging them into you through projection, through blame shifting, through gaslighting. And so it can be confusing, right? So as you're recovering, part of recovery is separating. It's separating you from the narcissist. It's separating their projection, what they're trying to get you to carry. It's letting them stay with it. It's not letting them push you outside of the boundaries of who you really are so that they can feel better. And if you don't understand what that means, or if you're struggling with difficult people, you definitely want to check out Thriver School of Transformation. It's a monthly membership where we meet online on Zoom every week and we do the healing work together. This coming Tuesday at our live meeting, we're going to be talking about mindsets and strategies that help us to deal with difficult people in a way that allows us to stay within the boundaries of who we really are. So that's a resource that's available. But I would love to hear your answers and your response to this line of reasoning as to whether or not you are or are not the narcissist. So let me know what you learned in the comment section below.